Welcome to the We Speak Tangent podcast, where we speak to neurodivergent entrepreneurs.
All right, folks, welcome to this special edition of We Speak Tangent. We may as well do the link. I'm Michael.
I'm James.
And I'm Amelia.
Yes, Amelia is now not behind the camera and a microphone is in her presence. So this is an audio only exclusive episode. And the camera's on strike. I don't know. And we're winging it. We don't know necessarily what we're going to talk about. So this could be a marvellous episode. It also could be a bit boring. But let's aim for
we're going to stick with positive.
We'll stick with positive.
We do have a few things that I'd like to talk about.
Yes, well, I was going to throw it to you. So, Amelia, as producer extraordinaire, what is the first topic that we will cover?
We've discussed this in a few podcasts previously, and this week we've recorded a few podcasts, and it's been a topic of conversation of like trying to find a work-life balance. And then we was just thinking, like, what can we talk about? And Michael, you were like, I don't know what that is. And James, you were like, I don't know what that is. And I was like, I don't know what that is.
Absolutely not. I have.
And I wonder how we go about trying to find a work-life balance.
Wow.
Can anyone help us?
Well, I mean, so James is, for those of you that don't know, which you probably should after all of these podcasts, James is the most business-ready person, like, of all of us, I think. I mean, Amelia, you have your own projects. I have my own sort of starting up projects. But is there a work-life balance, James, in your life?
So for me, I would like to say no, but I'm going to have a wee delve into the James's work life of a day.
All right.
So being neurodivergent, I get up in the morning and, it's a loud place for me, It is a loud. My house is quiet, but it's a loud place.
Yeah.
Do you know what he's saying yet, listener? Yeah, it's a loud place, but it's all quiet.
So it's like my mind is constant. It's so I've said it before in podcasts. When I get up, I am busy. I am busy, man. It's like I'm even shaving time off my toothbrush. No, not actually shaving the toothbrush, but it's like I've got 2 missing teeth, so I can take 10 seconds off. And, that's how my mind works. Is like. So when I go down
I can't decide if that's delightful or tragic.
Yeah. Hang on, so you don't brush your teeth for as long because I suppose you don't have
2 missing teeth?
Well, that makes sense.
Aye.
What, at the back?
Aye.
Hang on, I've just had my wisdom teeth out this
There you go, man, shaving
year.
20 seconds off it, aye.
And I've got four wisdom teeth
There
came
you go.
out.
Oh, you don't need to brush your teeth anymore.
This is not where I thought this particular podcast would go. Right, okay.
So things like that go through my mind.
Sorry, that's the 10-second tangent from, oh my God, why'd you do that? To actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, hang on. This is wise.
And it's an electric toothbrush, so it doesn't if I'm actually manually brushing. So it tells me, but it's like, and the constant monologue in my mind is like, right, okay, like brush your teeth, James, right? Did you do the toilet? All the usual stuff, but I'm constantly telling myself. I will get to the whole business part in a minute. I can only work for so long. I try and work in periods because I get like stuff you don't see in my face is like I get fatigued, my mind's over busy, I'm overthinking. Is my business doing all right? Is it doing it? Well, I have to just be in there, and if I'm being honest with myself, I work from home. I know social medias, it would seem that I actually have a big, wonderful studio, but that is my wonderful living room.
Yeah.
So when you say for work-life balance is like, I have to cut across my studio to get to my living room. So
do you find that because you're working from home, you find it harder to switch off? Like if you are saying like, right, I'm going to watch TV, because your craft supplies or whatever, your art stuff's in the background, you're like, oh, hang on a minute, I could just finish that, or I could just doodle whilst I'm doing that. Or
I think it's become my neurodivergent obsession. I need to paint. There's a need and a want to paint every day. But I get like the whole 9-to-5 jobs and stuff. It's like that isn't for me. That's why I became self-employed. It's like I have to paint. It's my therapy, but I can only do that for so many hours, and then I'm burnt out. And it's like, right, okay. And obviously, there is the bonus points because I get to, if I do want to, go lie on the couch. If I get burnt out, I go on the couch. I don't watch console telly, so I'm not watching TV during the day. But I will have.
I resent council telly. you saying council telly because stuff like QI I love so much.
Aye. And
That's not council
Amelia
telly.
just made some Italian finger like, oh, I love it. Yeah.
That's a university television. That's not council.
I know, I was
television.
like...
But like stuff like that is just stuff that you can
No.
watch and then you'll learn something. So
No.
you're productive at the
No,
same time.
I will not be...
Amelia Whitehouse there. That's Amelia Whitehouse.
With the white
Watching you will learn.
What is it on University Challenge? I thought that's what you were doing for a minute.
Amelia, our white picket fence, and watching the... No
What?
for me. I think it just for me is like...
But you watch Netflix?
I watch Netflix.
Right, that's council
That's
telly.
not council
no, that
telly.
is. That's just the 21st century council telly. Are
Nah,
you
I
kidding
can
me?
dictate what I want to watch.
Yeah, you can on the TV. You got the
But here's
remote.
another wee secret. The thing is, though, I've now, like... So I've started to...
Amelia's coming to her own.
I've
You've
started-
got the remote. You can watch what you want.
Well, this is even another revelation. So if I already know the plot, I'll fast forward through it.
Yeah, I do that.
Or
Yeah.
here's one for you. I'll watch the end. I'll watch 5 minutes at the beginning, go, right, okay, how'd you get? Then I'll watch the end, and then I'll watch it, and I'll let my mind unfold it.
You're not a fan of Columbo, then? No.
That's in like when Harry Met Sally, when
Yeah.
Harry's like, I read that last page of a book
Ah, right.
because he wants to be moody and brooding and like really mysterious and depressive. He's like, I read the last page of the book.
I just think that in the line of work I do is that, so for me, my mental health and all the other stuff, the work-life balance, okay, I might sound as if it is a bit chaotic, but it works for me, I am my own boss, I do my own thing. I can't do any more than one thing in a day because it overwhelms me. So staying in my house, I've already said I am a lonely guy. I'm not alone, if I need to go out, I'll meet people, I'll meet the men, I'll do all that, but that whole balance of me being there, I don't have anybody interrupting my hyper-focus, which is a bonus. I don't have anybody though to tell me to go, you need to eat, you need to drink water. So it does have that
Do
certain...
you find, because for me, I work at home as well, on the numerous things that I do, but I always find between like 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm just dead and I'm burnt out and I might get a zhuzh of energy in the evening, but I just can't do anything in the afternoon.
No.
That's very European. What you should do is
Oh,
sleep.
it is, isn't it? I should have a siesta.
That is, no, genuinely, that is delightfully European.
Yeah, that's lovely when you're in Spain. When you're in
Yes.
Scotland and it's raining, you don't really want to have an afternoon
Oh, no, I
siesta.
pretend it's Spain. No, if that's my... No,
Maybe that's it, because I'm used to warmer climates down
There
south.
you go.
And that's it, yeah. So it's the
Costa
night...
del Margate.
It's the amazing water here that's doing it for you.
No, but I do find, like, do you find, for both of you, like in your day-to-day runnings of your life and businesses and stuff, is there routines that you pick up that you know that you're going to get into, like, because like I know most days I'm tired in the afternoon, so that's the time that I would probably go for a walk around the park, or I can then use that time to my better, that's not the right word. Advantage, yeah. Is there anything that you do because you know?
I think for
habits or
me,
anything?
because I don't know, you want to go, Michael?
I could. So the thing with me is that at this point in time, as we sit here now, for me, it's mainly voluntary third sector stuff. So it is, and it has been for the past, 5, 6, 7 years, and then sort of DJing in the evening, be it at an ice bowl or a nightclub. So for me, my day is, and it's something that my family have told me a lot, which is it's voluntary. You could leave it tomorrow. But it's that thing of, you could leave it, why are you getting stressed for free? But for me, it's the, which actually sitting in a business building makes a lot of sense. But for me, it's mainly emails and chat groups and socials.
That's all the
and
worst
things.
bit of business.
Yeah, no, 100%. So, depending on what hat I'm wearing, is dependent on the things that I do. But to answer the original question, there is no work-life balance.
Yeah.
There is literally...
But do you not, like, sorry to interrupt,
Yeah.
but do you not turn your phone off in the evening?
No.
Yeah, see, I find that, like,
No.
I really want to. I really want to have, like,
Oh, I want
like,
to. Oh, absolutely. No. I want to. But it's that fear of... It's that third sector fear, folks, of if you turn your phone off and something happens...
When has anything ever happened, though?
Society.
It could. We're dealing with... third sector deals with some of the most vulnerable people in the region, in society. So it's that thing of, do you have a work phone? Do you have your actual phone?
I just thought, and this is a massive tangent,
Please, good.
but on point, do we think as a society that because no one has landlines anymore, so there isn't, like, you could turn your phone off, but if there was a desperate emergency, someone would call a landline, wouldn't they? But we don't have landlines, so you always have to be, your phone always has to kind of be on.
I see where you're going.
Bring back the landlines.
No, no.
Well, hold on, I've just painted 3 landline phones, Bring
Yeah,
back,
well,
bring back
okay.
landlines.
Well, yeah, in that context,
Who
yeah.
for? Is anyone, are people buying them for?
I've
do people
sold
still
a couple,
have?
Are they north of
That's cool.
80?
No, they're just
Are they young
funky
people?
art collectors,
Okay.
They're done in like a
The Jackson Pollock ones, yeah, I've seen
I've
them
done
on
white
YouTube.
ones before that.
Yeah.
That's a reason to get the landline plugged back in for me, I think.
Get it in, man.
But I wonder if that would help, because I always like to look at. Obviously, we live in such a digital age, and it's something that we have touched on the McMac podcast that we've just recorded. Spoiler alert. But
Which is very good, by the way.
Yeah, go listen. I'll link it in the YouTube thing. We're not on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Ignore that.
Yeah, on the Spotify. Yeah.
We can. There's ways, I think, in managing like the turn off. If we look towards like the 90s of people, if you couldn't get in contact with people, or even in like us growing up in the noughties and stuff, like you couldn't get in contact with people.
I'm laughing, man, because
How
how many times I lost a girlfriend because I didn't phone her that day on that week.
Yeah.
You didn't run down to the phone box
Yeah.
and reverse the charges.
But I wonder how we can use that.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like have
Yeah.
that, because I do think that everything that we do nowadays is so overstimulating,
Yeah.
especially
but
with
also,
social media.
like, also, without cutting you off, like,
No.
it's not a phone anymore. A landline is
Yeah.
exclusively a phone.
100%.
Yeah, it's a
You-
luxury as well.
our
We've
phone
got-
is, for some of us, most of us, all of us, it's our phone, it's our email, it's our camera,
Yeah.
it's our TV, if you invest in apps and things.
Yeah.
So by design, phones have...
You need to be on it all the time.
Yeah.
Well,
And that's what they want.
It is overwhelming. Like, I'm a mad phone constant because I use it as a safety barrier. If I don't want to look at you walking past the street, I'll use my phone.
Do you ever, like, because I always have that feeling, especially if I'm in the cafe or something, or someone else has gone to the loo, and you're on your own, and the temptation is just to be on your phone because you're anxious, you're socially, like, I'm a bit socially anxious.
We've noticed.
Thanks. But, like, I always try and, like, no, hang on, let's just challenge myself, just sit there, and it's fine to be not
See,
on
I
your
won't.
phone.
I'll just get my phone.
No, I can't enjoy the silence.
No.
It's that thing of being in a restaurant.
And then-
Historically, I've been on dates with people where it's, why don't you just enjoy the nice, as people have went to the loo, why don't you just enjoy the nice ambience and the restaurant and look at the, no.
I don't get that.
People
No,
look,
no, 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 no,
People
no,
look
no.
at me. Not a chance. I'll just use my
Yeah.
phone.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah. So, the phone is everything. And also, I mean, something I forgot to say, it's your wallet. So you can't, because
Yeah, I
money.
suppose so,
I
yeah.
was at a meeting last week for an organisation in Edinburgh, and I did that. I thought I'll turn my phone off,
Yeah.
and I had to park in a car park, like an NCP job,
Oh,
right?
You got the app
Do you
and
see?
scan.
No. You see where this is going? And I'm old-fashioned, so I hadn't learnt how to pay. And I did the
Yeah.
meeting, and I turned my phone off, and I'm going to be completely engrossed. Not that I'm not engrossed in meetings, but I thought
Yeah.
it's a nice day out, get a coffee, do things. Went back to the car park, got to the machine, and I got the money out because I had the money to pay the thing, and the machine said we only take card.
Yeah.
And I froze. And it was the first time in about, 8 to 10 years where I didn't have like we'll just do this.
Yeah.
So I ended up calling my folks, like, hello, could you guide me? I've got the money, I'm in the car park.
Yeah.
And as most car parks do, they smell a bit of wee.
Yeah.
So I'm in my very expensive wheelchair, wearing a nice cardigan beside a machine, and I'm going, So I ended up turning the phone back on to ring, and then guiding me through the process, and chipping tapping the thing, and I was just like, it completely spun my whole day.
Yeah.
So even if what the point of that is, even if people don't want to be involved in the technology and how it goes. Things are changing now, and I think, but it's all through your phone. So I don't think the opportunity is there to turn the phone off.
But I really want it to be.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely.
But I'm a sucker because half my job is doing social media stuff, especially when you have your own business and you're trying to build like an online presence and sell stuff. The social media is always on, and they want you to be on it, and they want you to be posting X amount of times a day. So it's like you want to be on it, and also it's like a community, so you want to be on it, and you want to be chatting with people.
Do you though?
I mean, there's some amazing people online, and they all just want to connect with people, and I think that's.
Oh, I'm not that guy.
Are you not? You're on. Sorry, are you not? I'm a bit Scottish then.
No.
But you have such a big, you have an online community.
I do have a community, but
yeah.
I just don't think I just know them. I don't really have any chats or those.
See, I'd really like to build that, and it's something that for one of my businesses is going to be building next year. Is having an online space, but then with that, it then needs to be, for me, it needs to be like a scheduled things are posting, so I don't have to be on my phone.
But that's purely because people have lost the ability to speak to each other in public. We're back to the phone again.
But I also think it's part of for me, my friends are in Canada, Germany, or back in Kent, and I have to travel to see any of those people. Obviously, you guys are here. Hello. You are my
I was
friends.
going to say, yes.
Yeah. But it is that there's a barrier, a limitation there, and your business can be online and ship. Are you saying that you're shipping shoes to America or something, weren't you?
We ship them all over the world, aye.
Well, exactly. It's just that's
so
the benefit
like
of
when
it.
you say that, we lost our first Facebook and it had thousands of followers and we lost a lot of money. It really set me back about a year and a half. But like you're saying, there was no business etiquette for me then. It was just me out there, and it was like I really gave myself a hard time about that. And it was like, Facebook, how are you not fixing this? And it was like they still never fixed it, but we had this amazing online community there that I did feel so probably there's the answer. I felt like vulnerable that I had all these people, and then all of a sudden
swept away underneath your feet.
But I mean, isn't it interesting how almost everybody that we've interviewed, I think probably everybody, including us, have went, we use our phone.
Yeah.
That's our communication.
I think it's two of them.
Or that's our invisibility cloak or our reason to be in the room.
Yeah.
So I think as a society we've lost, says the guy that is obsessed with phone and television, we've lost the ability to communicate.
Yeah.
100%.
It's given that false, it's not false, it's business, we have that business.
No, it is false.
Yeah,
because you're selling a dream.
Like when we were interviewing the girls earlier, it's like, we sent a video, or putting that in. I like that because that's the personal touch. Not everybody likes putting everything on there, but it is the personal touch. But there's that element of who is lying on there, not so much like is this genuine? Like you're saying, Amelia, there we messaging. Yes, we have a community. People buy stuff. We never exchange anything on social media. We always go on to another platform, but there is that point where you get the scammers and you get all that, and that scares you away from that stuff. So the whole idea of that is like, oh man, can you really be bothered? But then you want to take a punt on this random person that's messaged you because they like your stuff, and you're like, 1 out of 10 is a genuine customer.
Yeah.
The other ones are these random people, and they just burn you out, and that's a severe burnout for having that.
But you care a lot more about that. The part of your day is, because you've told me, it's you spend your day speaking to people and sending people nice messages and affirming things so that they can get through the day. With the greatest of respect, we are two completely different people. It's wonderful what you do, but that for me is a time constraint. And it's a wonderful thing to do, because, and I appreciate why you do it and the journey that you've spoke about on this podcast a lot. But I mean, for me, that is, and look, when I get to 40, I'm like 7 years away from 40. So when I get to 40, I will probably do what my dad did, which was invest in all of the, mindfulness, self-help, become a better, more peaceful person.
On. You don't have to be 40 to, I've already read half of those.
Well, no, I've read one, and I'm just like,
Which
really?
one?
Well, I've read The Untethered Soul. which is
I've heard that
it's a
one.
good book. But
Take a note for this.
it's all right. But it's yeah. When I get to that stage, I will. But what the point is that what I was saying was that after you've done that, you get up. Your mind is, just to get back to the point, your mind is busy. You do the teeth. You shave off the toothbrush time because you've got to. That's it. Then you, after doing whatever business you need to do as a human being, then you send. That's a very nice way of saying go to the loo. Then you send like affirmations to people to help get them through their day. That's a lot of work and pressure.
Yeah, that's not work.
Well, no, but
Work.
it's
Like, that's
something
already- that's
that
just-
it's just being a nice person.
Well, it's like,
which I'm clearly
so for
not.
me, it's like it is part of
Yeah.
my work-life balance. You know, it's like somebody was out there caring about me and never gave
Yeah.
up, and I got one message, and it's my job now to like. Some people might not want the message, but you know, some of the other people might be like, that's the only message they get in the day. Then it's
Sure.
like,
Yeah, I like the messages.
it's like the wee
I send you
random-
little jokes as well.
Aye. Well, Amelia sends jokes back, and some of them aren't that great, but I like them. Folk will be saying the same bad messages. I'm like, we're just being polite, James.
But the point is that's before you get to do your job. That's all
Yeah,
the
but
stuff
that's
beforehand.
like that's community, isn't it? As
Yeah.
well,
yeah,
that's
sure.
I think as well, it's like after that, you know, I really, I'm not in anything for that for myself. This is
No.
like, but it is quite self because it is for myself. Because as soon as I finish that, I'm like, right, business.
Yes, you get
You know,
the
I've got
dopamine
that,
high of
right,
doing
let's
it.
do it, let's go
Yeah.
for it, and then I'm painting. So
But then do you think as well? Sorry to hark back to like the 1800s, but
I was only a boy
Get the
then.
feathers out.
I was just a boy.
Get the quills.
but like we're probably like one of the first generations who have that contact every day,
Yeah, true.
and you can easily do that. What would you have done even 40 years ago? You'd
Chat
quickly
folks' doors and
quickly
tell them-
send affirmations in the post every morning. Like you'd
Pen
not,
pals.
you wouldn't
Well,
be
no,
able
you
to.
just read the good book
Yeah.
40 years ago. But no, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that 40 years ago, you probably had more of a physical community.
Yeah, but
You
even still,
probably
you're not
had-
seeing them before 9 a.m. in the morning.
No, God,
So I wonder
no,
whether
no,
that's
no, no,
like
no.
they would have had an emptier brain.
And this is so
Yeah.
my wee tangent mind is like, do you know in the 1800s they had people who would go around and they would shoot peas at your window
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
you
yeah.
up. One
Yeah.
penny you could pay.
What are you talking
Yeah,
And they
about?
would-
the
they
pea
would
shooters in
shoot-
the morning.
Aye,
There's
they
an
would shoot-
amazing old photo, and it's a lady in London,
Aye.
I think, and she's got a pea shooter, and that's how they'd wake you up in the mornings. Or there's the tapper,
Aye.
they'd tap your
Or
windows.
the police, they would get the police to get them up in the
Aye.
morning. Aye, pea shooters.
Love that.
There you go.
Great.
Pre
okay.
alarm.
No, you
clock.
get an alarm on your mobile phone.
No, yeah. No, I've been told my alarm is quite severe. Like, I want to make sure that I'm awake. It's not like a nice little sort of chime.
No, I don't like alarms.
But no, I mean, there is no work-life balance.
Yeah.
And if you let it in, the phone can take up your entire life.
But yeah, I wonder whether there are steps that you can, like, obviously I think it is a balance because you need to find a balance in everything, otherwise you just would burn out. So there must be some way that there must be like a system in place.
So for me, neurodivergent, when I'm painting, it goes face down
Yeah.
and it's on silent, so I don't see it. But I'm not going to lie, I think about my phone,
Yeah, same.
and so it affects my artwork because
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the phone, and it's like, wow, man, this is an obsession. But if I didn't have my phone, I wouldn't have an awful lot of other stuff. It becomes a tool.
Yeah.
At what cost though?
So this is proper tangenty. So just to go back to Amelia's point, if there's an emergency, what happens? So I live in the sticks. I live in the country.
Yeah.
So, and this is going to sound like proper tangenty, but I'm also a sort of stroke community connector for the south of Scotland.
What does that mean?
It means that I work with a charity called Stroke Scotland, who have information and provide people to people who've had strokes.
Okay.
And if that there is a crisis at the moment, because if anybody's heart was to have a moment, the likelihood of calling an ambulance getting out on time because you live in the sticks, blah, 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 that's why there's defibs and all sorts.
Oh, okay.
But
yeah.
if you live in the sticks and you're in a living situation where everybody is older and they're siloed and they live on their own, and I live in a situation where it's a crescent or a court. It's a sort of my family are across the road on my mum's side, and then around us is a collection of people who are aging, who have vulnerable health themselves. So if any of us has any manner of things, there is things like care call that will use your landline, to get back to the point, to actually call somebody who will then call an ambulance. But there isn't that sort of, oh my goodness, like man the pump thing. And I think there is businesses out there where the tech is getting a bit better. But the point is, if you are isolated and your only communication is your phone, it's a bit of a stretch. It's a bit weird.
I think you've got everything on it, so it's like it's never gone away. No. It's like it's always going to be there. So it's like embracement. We embrace it. But
and it's finding the systems, like we're saying, to make it not a tiring thing. Like, even if it is one night a week, you turn your phone off at 6 p.m. and you light a candle and read a book.
Does anybody have phone neck?
Oh, what?
I've got phone neck. Like, I'm constantly
phone neck.
my phone, aye.
What? So I don't want to know what you think he said.
So it's like phone
Nick,
neck.
as in like.
Oh, right,
Nick,
sorry.
So like constantly looking down at my phone, so I'm starting to get a wee bit in the back of.
I've got my hands. I've got my hands where I just.
The dent in your finger.
I've got my hands where I just raise my hand to my eye level, so I don't look down.
They say about doing that in the car.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen it hang on TikTok. You get it behind your bed and you just pull it round. No, I just need somebody to flick it.
But no, Amelia, I think you're right. I think that, not that I would add, is my phone on a Sunday? I think it is. Yeah. So, I mean, possibly, it could be a thing.
Yeah.
But it's getting back to yourself without the technology.
Yeah. But I do think as well, because when you are a neurodivergent entrepreneur,
yes,
it's difficult to shut off. Do you know what I mean? Like in office jobs, right, you're there 9 to 5.
I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't think I've shut off in 7.5 years.
I don't think I've ever shut off.
I definitely don't.
Well, no, I think before that I did, because I had my health thing with my hip, and I was forced to, step back and switch off. But the moment I found something to do, I liked it. Yeah. So I wanted to magnify it. And from that point, I haven't been switched off.
Yeah,
so I haven't I'm going to spend the weekend with my family, and my family are now shouting at this going, no, you're quite right, you haven't. But that's because you're always at a level of intensity where even if it's a Sunday, even if it's, we're coming up to, we're just past, depending on when this goes out, Christmas or New Year, just past, yes. So, you never sort of switch off. And because of the nature of what I'm doing with, third sector, DJing, and hopefully in 2025, the idea, if you're not, you could switch off in the day and then do a set at night, or you could try and switch off at night, but then you've got to stay awake so that the body clock is, so that you're not yawning at 2:30 in the morning when you're playing to people in a room. So no, I don't think with work-life balance, I don't think I've ever been able to switch off. And that's how I marvel at people like Kat, who I don't think switches off, but I think the knowledge is there of at least how to tone down. It's the meditation thing, it's the mindfulness thing, it's that I'm where I need to be in each moment, but for this particular moment, I'm going to practice getting back to myself and switching off and
giving
trying to
permission,
exactly.
I think it's like learning to know yourself and knowing how, when you need to push yourself and when you need to take a step back. Like
I don't even know that.
Well, on Tuesday, I was having a bit of a migraine coming on. I was just feeling rough. I knew that there were certain things I had to get done that day. Realistically, I probably could have had to have done 101 things. But then it's knowing that actually, if I just look at my phone for half an hour, get X, Y, and Z done, then I can step away from the phone for a bit, have a lie down. If I need to do work, then I can do this, but it's not, I can do it, making the adjustments for myself to do things that aren't necessarily computer-based, so it's not going to make the migraine come on even more. But it's just then knowing yourself on when to push and when to have the balance and when not to.
See that, a couple of Sundays ago, I was the same, and it's I didn't know when and where and why. It just happened, and I'm like, wow. And it's a collective of all the things. It's like doing too much in front of the screen, in front of the phone, having to deal with people, having to go back, and then I'm like, that's it, man. I'm just on the couch.
Yeah.
And I couldn't move. It's like, I don't know what they call it, but it was like being paralysed and just sitting there again. It was like I physically could not move. I was for the eyes down, but I still had the constant chattering of 1,000 monkeys in my head.
Yep.
And I'm like, and then all I could do is just go to sleep. And then when I woke up,
Yep.
I'm still there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know it's a mad tangent there as well, but it was like, it starts off with like, you can, after it's been, you can see there's wee triggers and wee things where you're like, oh, I should maybe have done that. But you don't. You just go 500 miles an hour until it's like, So I guess back to the work-life balance question is like, if I was to tell an employer, listen, you know, I might only not come in one day or I might not come in for 2 hours or whatever, what are they going to say to me?
Yeah.
So right now I literally only work a couple of hours a week, a day, whatever, like as actual work, because it's like, it's too much, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I mean, we've, just to sort of finish the point, we have just filmed the Mac episode, as we said. And, where was I going? Oh, the work-life balance and not being able to... Yes, sorry, there we go. So somebody from Mac said they didn't like it, the sort of neurodivergence being a superpower. And I said, well, neither do I, because I can't go into that phone box and take it off or switch whatever voice off. I think, but that's exhausting. I mean, just listening and second guessing, third guessing, fourth guessing yourself is absolutely exhausting. But if it's used well, if your mind is used well, it's not all doom and gloom and let's pack up and go home. If it's used well, it can absolutely be not a superpower, but you could really get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah, because if you know yourself, and also as well, I think Alex was saying from the Mac interview towards the end about having systems.
Yes.
I think that's the benefit that we have because we, as our brains are probably analysing a lot more and probably self-analysing a heck of a lot more. You know when to work, and you know that what systems you have that work for you. Yeah. I think that's one of the luxuries of being self-employed and making the day up for yourself and knowing that actually, I don't know, like I'm feeling rough today, I'm going to start work at 11 or I'm going to do this, that and the other. And but you know you have the systems in place to help you succeed.
Yeah.
It's just then finding, because I think as well we're so passionate, it's then finding the time to shut off.
As much as I hate it, my biggest fear in life is not being in control of my mind. So it's all that I know. So if anything...
That's quite a lot, you know, everyone's...
Yeah, my biggest fear in my life is dying, but no, like dying before I've finished.
Yes.
But I guess that's because like
that's
my
the
mind
artist
is constant.
mentality.
It's like dying before I'm like constant. It's just a busy mind. It's like, it's hard to explain that. It's like a fuzzy telly kind of like...
Very much so, absolutely.
But you know, I'll be honest with myself, I wouldn't change my life for the world. You know, that's a sacrifice I have to make. Then a burnout every now and again is like, then I'm all right with that. So for my work-life balance, you know, painting really is the only time I switch off.
Did you, when you were working in like bank manager and other roles that you've worked that are the 9 to 5, did you find that you burnt out more, or was there anything there?
Well, I was drinking and taking drugs, so I burnt out less.
So make it like...
I was coping mechanism there,
because you're trying to maintain that level.
But you're constantly making up that mask and that feeling. So it's like you can pretend to be the happiest guy on the planet, but you know when you go home, that's when the real work happens.
When that door shuts.
Aye, that's it, man. You're in there, and it's like I guess I've always been lonely, and I'm really not shy telling people that. You know, I've been alone in many public places. It's like when people are there. And it's like even in the bank or even selling cars, these jobs were specifically picked by me so that I could pretend to be something I'm not. But the gratitude I have now of working for myself is that the problems are still there. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm a solution. And if it means that I have to lie on the couch for one day, I will absolutely, you know, I'm always about... You have to go to before, like when Michael said about the messages and stuff. I have been to work on myself before I got to work on others.
Oh, you absolutely have.
I've got my meditation and all the wee bits I do, but more so is like I'm thankful for me, because it's like I always say, like I don't live too much in the past, but we've came on a long way. Yeah. A long way. What was the question?
I don't know, but I was going to ask you another question.
Oh
a
no,
follow-up.
the question was, when you were doing other jobs, did
Oh,
you
right.
find you burned out?
But
Right,
did you-
But you answered it.
I'll need to get this one out as well.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I do try and deflect away from it as much as I am very open. I do try and deflect away from it, but I'm brutally honest with myself. It's like, you know, it was. But when for me, I never told. I was happy to tell you I was ADHD, but the burnout was more the autistic because I'd shut it off and suppressed that part of my mind, and it's like, do you know how hard that is? I cried myself to sleep. I had pretended to girlfriends, I had pretended to friends, and it's like,
When you say pretended, do you mean masking?
Proper and like trying to be, and I'm making the hand gesture, normal. It's like, you know, trying to be normal and fitting in. It was like, that was the big burnouts.
Conforming to it.
Drinking and alcohol was my muse at the time, you know.
Yeah.
It just was that time, but...
Do you, when, as well, sorry, my tangent brain has just
Sorry?
thought of a question. From the salesman days and the bank manager days, is there anything that you learned from those two roles that you implement now as a self-employed person?
I think that's where one of my tangents earlier in the other interview was, you know, I learned everything that I've got just now by watching and seeing and listening, and also living the experiences. And as much as I get excited, and it will sometimes come across as, no, I'm getting excited to say it, is because when I see hope in other people's eyes, I want them not to live the experiences I did. But some of my experiences in working these jobs, you better believe that they have made me the person I am today, and they have made my business. So they have enhanced it. But that comes with a very, very heavy amount of acceptance and forgiveness for the way people treated me. Okay, I'm all right with the way I was, but I've made peace with myself for the way I treated people because of how I was, but also I've forgiven them as well for the way they treated me, because they didn't know.
Do you hold grudges?
No. I've had a big amends list, and I've went through it, and I will continue to make amends to people. I try and make them as and when they happen. It doesn't always happen like that, but it makes my life a hell of a lot better. But I will, if I eat something up, that's when I have burnout.
Yeah.
And people aren't ready for the honesty.
You know what I mean? Like, people say things to me and I forget.
I don't. No. It's not quite holding a grudge, but...
You just never forget.
You remember how, but it's back to the neurodivergent mind. You remember how you were, and then you remember what was said in that moment.
And like the embarrassing moments I have, but actually, like, I know that I've had times where it's like, actually, I think I should have been treated better then, or I know, but actually now,
all the time.
And there's been quite a few, but I don't know if it's just me blocking it out, or whether I'm just now like, you know what? Oh, I was going to swear. Like, I just...
French connection it.
Like, sod it. It doesn't... For now, for me, the path that I'm on, I'm focusing on X, Y, and Z, and it's completely irrelevant what happened to me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, in that job, this job, how people behaved.
But it moulds you, doesn't it? It does give you that certain,
but it...
You know how not to treat yourself in a certain way, but you also...
You know the boundaries.
In your mind, you're constantly giving yourself a hard time.
Even
when I'm saying that, I'm saying I have forgiven myself for all the horrible and negative things that I've thought, but there'll be new horrible, negative, unloving things about myself that I've thought.
I think for me, it just... I remember the snapshot of how I felt and what the person said, and then the fallout from that. And I'm always amazed that people don't. And I don't think it's the James model. I don't think it's because people have went through a list and went, I think maybe... I genuinely just think it's because people have forgotten. And it's how life is. So, I mean, but that affects the work-life balance. Some of the biggest conversations I've had have been with those closest. And we don't know the effect that we have on people as human beings.
Yeah, we don't know what everyone else is thinking.
No. So, I mean...
Whether they're still thinking about what they said to you.
Doesn't it stop us trying to think we know the way they're thinking as well? That is a tough thing.
It's different.
But you also, man, you do foresee a lot of stuff, and you at that time you don't. And you're like... Oh wow, that's where that went, and that went like that, and you're cringing at the time because you know what you've said, and you're like, I'm autistic, and if I genuinely mean it, I will correct it there and then, and if I don't see you for the next couple of weeks or whatever, I will correct it next time I see you.
I mean, there's probably only been a handful of times where I've accepted blame in my entire life.
That you were wrong or something.
Well, I'm accepting that a lot
I was going to
more.
get, I said we should get that on a t-shirt.
I'm accepting that. Yeah,
I did it my way.
yes, I'm accepting a lot more that I'm not right in situations.
Yeah.
Not that I thought
I
I was
think that's-
perfect before.
No, but I think it's really important because there's so many people who go through life and they never accept it, and they that people have that mindset of, no, actually I'm right all the time, and you can see what their life's going to be at the end. And I think that's the most beautiful thing, is that you're open to adapting and you're learning, and we're all learning as human
at
beings.
33, I think
But
it's about
irrelevant.
time.
Yeah, but it's irrelevant what time, because the amount of people that you meet in life who have no clue and they don't want to change and they're not fussed with changing.
Yeah.
But actually, that's the key of it.
Yeah.
Change is the most constant thing we have.
It's like
Like
when
a
I go
t-shirt.
when I go into a room and I don't need to like everybody. I do not like to like everybody.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've come to terms with, because I would make myself like everybody, and I'm like, I don't need to
But
like
do you think
these.
that was like part of this is probably quite a personal question, but like, was that part of like the drugs and alcohol, because that's you're putting on showman?
No,
like
it's just
pushing.
James.
Oh, is
It's just
that
James.
okay?
I just wanted to like. I wanted to be loved and liked.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I wanted to like and love everybody.
Is
Whereas
that
now
want to be
it's-
accepted
I
as
can't
well?
say I was the same there.
acceptance now is like, I accept it. I'm not going to like
No,
everybody.
I-
But I wish they did the same. It's like,
Yeah.
No, I can't say I was the same there. I don't go
I'm
into a
quite
room.
happy being on the outskirts of society.
No, but I don't want to go into a room and it depends on the room, I guess. But I don't want to go into a room and go, right, I want everybody to like me.
Yeah.
No, not really, because that involves me. Maybe it's just a laziness thing. That involves me investing time in trying to like everybody else, and
Yeah.
with respect,
It's too much commitment.
It's far too much commitment. I've got too much going on. I've got 50
Slot
things
you
to
in on the
do
time schedule.
and a job to do. So no.
I just had a vision of you like Tony Montana.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little friends.
No.
Oh, Scarface.
Yeah. But no, I mean, it really is that. I said it in my episode, and it probably didn't make me look like the best of a human. But if I have something to do, it's not personal. Like that, there isn't feelings.
Yeah.
It's just I have something to do. I have a reason to be here. I have something to say, and maybe it's just the way I was taught. I don't know,
See,
but yeah.
Like something you just said there, Michael.
Oh,
was like,
goodness.
You know,
What now?
and a lot of people have said this to me, and I'm having a lot of revelations about my life and what I do. And I like to think of myself as less arrogant, if I ever was. Oh, is that humble? But less arrogant. You know, I leave myself open for people to verbally attack me, to infringe themselves on me, because I am so honest and I am so open. And that hurts me a wee bit, you know, to be that honest and open that other people, it's not received in that way. Do you know what I mean by that? Like, it's a vulnerability.
I'm lost. But I was also focusing on your jumper, and I suddenly thought, is that a new jumper?
Aye, feel it?
I do, yeah.
Nice
Sorry,
and soft, feel it, Michael?
it's really amazing.
It is, yes.
But is that not like...
It's a vulnerability of my
I get it.
conditions.
No, it's what my mum says to me all the time, which is the biggest letdown in life is that we are so honest and people are not.
I just think
And that could manifest itself in different ways.
Yeah.
That could manifest itself in we want everything to be perfect and then it's not. That could be we are open and
trust
honest
people.
and people are not.
Yeah.
That could be something as simple as I wanted to go right, that person went left, even when I tried my damnedest to
But then
make
is
them
it
go
also
right.
as well, it's like, it's
Yeah.
why... I actually was talking about this with my friend Kirsty the other day, saying like, why would you care what other people are saying if they're not people who you take advice from?
True.
Like if they're not people who you'd listen to or have in your social circle or have...
That's
like,
back to James's point,
someone-
because you don't want people
You
to
don't
go
want-
through what you've went through.
Yeah, but and it's also
Even if you don't care about them. That's
Yeah.
the point. It's that horrible thing of I wouldn't
But
wish
then it's
my
like,
worst
at
enemy
what
to.
point do you stop... I was going to swear again. Caring about like where's the barrier? Because
Before I go in the room, usually.
you need to put boundaries up
Do you know,
for.
do you know where I am in life right now? And it just makes sense. Like what life balance I am, my work, I am my life. You know,
And you have balance.
I'll be honest as a human being
Yeah.
right now, because I'm getting quite emotional when I say that. There, you know, I am tired and sick, and I'm sick and tired of people taking advantage of me and people like me. Now I am passionate, and if you can't hear that in my voice, that people still hurt me to this day and age, and you know that's why my circle's small. That's why I sit in the house. That's why I can't have a real job. That's why I paint. That's why I write. I'm trying to create a world that I can show people that, you know, okay, I might not be the most perfect human being, but stop taking advantage, and that means in every sense. If anybody's listening to this and it's like, I'm meaning in money and I'm meaning in personal infringement, I'm meaning like invoking yourself in play, and stop taking advantage of people like us, because it's not right, and we don't have the defences to turn around and say, please stop doing that.
And we do, but you won't like them. That's the point. It's that thing of we and that's something that I'm like, and it's a wonderful point. And the only way that we can do that is by getting control of what some people see as minimal, but we see as everything. Like it's my USP, it's James's USPs, it's probably yours, Amelia, in the sense that we yearn for, be it in business or in life, it's that one thing that we can hold on to, that we have, that we can, it's our intellectual property. James is out, it's my ideas, it's my skill, it's my whatever I'm doing in my life. That's that. You can, and James is right, you can think all manner of things about me as a human being. I'd probably agree with you. But the moment that infringes on the thing that I'm very good at, I could respond, but there is a reason that everywhere that I have been has a HR department. It's because people are genuinely not prepared to hear. It's the boundary thing. It's the push. If you push enough.
I just think that, and that is, I'm getting emotional when I talk about stuff like that, because it is deep, and it's been my life for 42 years, and there's no anger in my voice. It's not their fault sometimes, but I'm really tired of it. That was what my burnout was the other day, and it has been for a long time. But you know what? If anybody's listening, and I mean no harm to anybody, but really have a good look, and also please do have a proper look at what art or writing or anything. There's another message inside there. There's a message inside my art. There's a message inside the writing, the paintings, Amelia's stuff. Have a real good look, please, because the fact is that we pour absolutely everything into this, and when you come and you infringe and you say words or whatever, please, man, have a wee bit of heart and have a bit of respect for the people who you're speaking to. It's and I can't, it's just one of them.
Yeah.
It really it just pushes my buttons to the point where it is severe burnout, and it is these things, and I have no control over it.
And also, the other person doesn't get any burnout. It just affects us.
I think as well, when you're an artist, especially, and it's like you're pouring your heart and soul into projects and art. Like I did an art fair in Edinburgh, and obviously all my artwork's moons with faces on, and it is niche. But some girl came over and she went, "Oh, this is very specific, isn't it?" I was like,
"It's a moon."
I was like, "Yeah, okay, they're all my artwork." But I was like, "Your stall is all woodwork. That's very specific."
Oh, please tell me you said that.
No, because
Amelia, you disappoint me.
Typical brain. I didn't think about it until 2 days later. But
you should have just rang me up.
But then I was also then like, should I be a bit like, should that have ticked me off? Because like she's right, it is niche. But the way she said it was quite like.
No, but it's like for like. If her store is wood, I mean.
Well, it wasn't her store. I think it was a partner's.
There
but
you go. Yeah.
But it is that because my art is inspired by vintage stuff and Victorian like creepy moons. Man on the Moon stuff, and it is very niche, it is very specific, but maybe that is where I remember one comment. That's the one comment I remember. But because you pour your heart and soul into it with art, and it is something that you are passionate about, it does sometimes hit home more than if you were doing like a thing, like something for a big banking company, or creating something that's mass produced.
I just think as well, it's not just the art, it's the personal, it's the people, it's the things. Do you know what goes into it? Do you know what I had to go through in order to come here today, in order to get out of my bed and go through? Just have a bit of empathy, man. The world doesn't need enough any more people who are out there. And this isn't a slagging match. It's just like I'm just there.
Yes, it is.
I'm just there at this moment in my life, and I didn't come on here. I didn't come to and agree to come on a neurodivergent entrepreneur network or a podcast to bitch about people. But come on, man. Where has humanity went? The fact is that
we haven't done the bitch episode yet. That's next week.
During somewhere along the line, and that's just my personal journey. I don't mean anything by it, and I never ever say anything negative towards these people. I pray for them. Not religious, man, but they need a wee bit extra help.
But then that's also it, isn't it? It then works two ways. And they always say that a bully is a bully because they're probably getting bullied at home. And you never know what people, like obviously it is, you got to pinch of salt with everyone. Some people are just, expletive here. But you never know what's going on in someone else's life to then make little snide comments or be a bit of a...
But it's the point that at that point somebody else cares. And it's that thing of, it's that barrier of not accepting that somebody else cares.
And I care enough to bring it up. I bring it up quite a bit, because if I don't lead for the front and show people that this is an emotional state of mind, you know, I didn't ask for this.
No.
I did not ask for anything I've got. I was gifted it, and it just is.
Yeah, but you also built it.
Oh, I'm talking about my neurodivergent side,
Oh,
but
okay,
you're right
right.
as well. It works. That's why it works so well. That I'm at my happiest place when I have somebody who's actually read one of my books, or somebody who's in front of me that's bought a painting. That makes me want to cry every single time, and I remember every single one of these. That's a no call it a superpower, but it's part of the neurodivergency that I like, because I don't understand love, so I can't say love that I like.
But I think also that's probably why. I mean, my story is, especially with say in business, it's because I've seen it done by somebody else. So that makes you want to do it and be authentic and really invest in yourself and the things that you've got. And it may not happen. I mean, we haven't really discussed that on the podcast either. We have lots of people with ideas, lots of people at different stages, but at any point it could be gone tomorrow.
But then that's also... Are you talking about death?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about business.
Oh, where are we going?
No.
For a minute I suddenly
No. I'm talking about business. Like we see people. No. We saw. I can do next Tuesday. No. But no. The point
it's true.
is, yeah.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Yeah. Thank you. Good save. Everybody that we've interviewed in this podcast is yearning to earn their own money with the skill that they have. And then pass that gift on to somebody else.
Yeah, but it's also adaptable. I think that's probably part of
the
thing that is amazing about being your own boss and being a self-employed neurodivergent entrepreneur.
But it's adaptable now.
What do you mean now?
Like
this time period? Or?
Yeah, I mean this whole thing, like the NEN. So say like we're not very far removed from. Oh my goodness, I can't possibly do that. It's not made for people like me. Like what I have to offer is not, it doesn't fit. So let's just accept one side of life. It really isn't. You know. So everybody that we've met, and we've done I think 10 or 11 of these now.
15.
Well, great. Because I wasn't here for 3. That's fun. But yeah, what I'm saying is we've met people at every level. Like the people we saw today were young entrepreneurs. We've met retired people. We've met retired people who are going back in to help people. We've met people who have been
relearning it, mid-40s.
We've met people who have been made redundant and have started a massive business that is helping.
But then this just shows, doesn't it, that it's good because things change, but also you can build a beautiful life for yourself, and if you have to kind of be open to it, and also there are the resources out there from amazing people who do want to help. You know, like we've had amazing funders.
Yes.
We have an amazing support network. We're very grateful for that, and we'd love to share that with as many people as possible, not only just in the Scottish borders and the south of Scotland, like as wherever you are, but it is, you can build an amazing life and business.
Yeah, and we've met people with ideas that just aren't on the level yet. You know,
but then it's a journey, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying, but the point is that this wasn't available before somebody opened up a bakery, and then Sose went, actually, this is good enough that we need to do this. So, I mean, anybody that watches or listens, it's, I think everybody just wants to be doing something that makes them feel valued and authentic and just there. And I think we've met people that don't know what that thing is yet. I include myself in that. I know what it is, but it's actually putting the building blocks in place. The support is there to do it. There's still very much it's not quite a wall, but there's
foundations gone.
Yeah, but there is a reticence from some people to get involved because it's free. And what does that mean? There are people there that want us to succeed and do it. And as I've said to everybody on this podcast, Kat and Rachel and Amelia and you, James, like this is the start of something. This is the Neurodivergent Entrepreneurs Network. I think this could be 50 times bigger. This could be the chronic health business network. This could be the carers business network. You could literally, with the formula, just expand it even further. Because if you find something that you can do well, it's just a case of, okay, how do I make that the thing that sustains me as a human being? So, and I think SoSave finally opened the doors to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, more power to them.
I would be actually quite interested, this is probably a side note to remind myself, but like to see what other SOSAs are out there, because obviously not everyone who's listening will be based in South Scotland.
No.
And you'd hope that the support that SOSA are amazing have given us would be...
But maybe a good one for the listeners, somebody to reach out, man, if there's somewhere.
Yeah.
How far are we reaching? Can you just drop us a wee message? No, it's
Comment
one of the
on
ones.
Spotify or YouTube.
I think we'll also put in the show notes some of the things that I've touched on, like just with alcohol and stuff and drugs.
Yeah.
I just think it's
Send me the links.
because it goes hand in hand with neurodivergents like myself that are out in the world. But you know, that obviously got deep at the end there when we're talking, but it needs to be. We need to hear these things and the new opportunities. But the message that's been the day is, ask for help, man. You know, it's like I really struggle to ask for help. I'm getting better, but you know, it's like it doesn't get easier; it gets better. But ask for help.
But I don't even necessarily know if it's asking for help; it's asking for support.
Support.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Guidance.
because it can seem such a big
Yeah.
thing, and there are so many people out there who you don't have to be the most amazing person at everything.
Yeah.
Like, and we do that. We do, you know, the photography, the social media, the business, the marketing, the accounts. Like, as entrepreneurs, we do take it all on, and you kind of are quite precious about it because it's your brainchild, your baby kind of thing. But actually, there's so much support out there, and some people have better knowledge than you will at the
You hear that?
sirens.
Yes.
Police coming.
It's
Yeah.
it's
They've answered my
We need to
call.
round up.
They've answered the call.
no. But even just self-reflection. I mean, we've
Which is
learned.
funny considering I can see the reflection.
I know,
in
yeah.
that mirror.
But the point is that by doing this podcast, I mean, we've learned more about each other, but we've also learned a lot about ourselves.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
At
self-discovery mission.
So, I mean, to the power of three and cat as well. So
Charmed.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but we have learned, and I make no bones about it. When this first started, I thought this was somewhere between a terrible idea and a car crash.
Good to know.
No, I just, you know,
You
I
like
was
the
like,
idea, Michael.
well, no, but I just thought, well, I don't know. I just, my barrier was, you want me to be in a room with other people who have my
Hey
thing?
man, the honesty.
Like,
We accept
what?
honesty.
But no, I mean, now it's a thing, and it's that thing of, it's like if you're investing in a company, or it's that thing of you have to take that first push, that first step,
You have
that
to invest
first
in yourself
whatever.
first, eh?
And I've learned so much from this process. But I mean, we're only at the start, so.
It's just the beginning, not the end.
And I can't believe we got an hour out of one topic.
I know. I do actually have 3 other topics that we were going to talk about, so there's
Well,
going to have to be some more
we can-
tangent podcasts.
We can break and do another 20 if you like, but that is an hour on the work-life balance.
Yeah.
So
We just can ramble on.
yeah. As it's audio, do we have to do a separate bit, or can you?
What do you mean?
Or can we just keep going and you
Keep
cut
on
them into
going and
bits?
going.
Okay,
Yeah, we
no.
need to say goodbye to people.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for
Well,
listening to the episode and all
Okay,
that
so
malarkey.
if we silence there, then you can cut that bit of me sounding a bit
Now we have to
terrible.
cut this bit as well.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's an hour of work-life balance. We hope it's been informative, helpful.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much.
Thank you for listening to this
Thanks for the
exclusive.
counselling, guys. You know,
We've done a lot of that today, I think, yes. But thank you for listening to this exclusive episode of We Speak Tangent, which will be exclusively available on Spotify.
I also have
think.
just realised that I could make a video and put it on YouTube as well, so it's fine.
Oh, okay.
So it's exclusive to everyone.
It's yes, indeed,
That's
yes.
my great marketing.
Well done. Okay.
Thanks.
So thank you for listening to this exclusive, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Bye.
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the We Speak Tangent podcast, brought to you by the Neurodivergent Entrepreneurs Network in partnership with South of Scotland Enterprise.